Hello, and welcome back to Forgotten Dailies. It is actually Wednesday. I try to do these videos every night, but life happens, and then I don't know. I'm not a video person, but I do try to update you as we go along on these cars. So I apologize for not showing every step of the way. It is what it is. So, anyways, been out here tonight. You can see I'm filthy dirty. It's finally it's warm. Been threatening storms all night, but it hasn't yet, so knock on some wood. So anyways, I've been out here working on this 83 Charger, and we still have a no start issue. We have not been able to figure out yet what it is. My buddy that helps me, he was over here the other night, and we messed with it for a little while, but he had to go home, and he's busy with life too, so free time for him is like me. It's almost impossible to find. But we're going to figure it out. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue carrying on, removing things that I know won't affect it running. So tonight, I got the front nose off. So I had started to remove the driver's fender. I got it all. It's all loose. Well, it's not loose. It should be loose. All the bolts up here are off. The ones inside the door jamb are off. And then the two that go behind the rear tire are out. What I run into is... see if I can get under here and show you, get a light real quick. So there's this crossbar. It's kind of hard to see it in this situation, that this crossbar right here. So there's a bolt here and another bolt at the other end. That's not a big deal. I can always cut the crossbar. But if you look way up inside here, try to figure it out with the light. That bolt right there holds the inside of the fender to the body. Okay, so then you've got that one, and then you got another one right there. That bolt that's in the center of the camera. That one there also holds the bottom portion of the fender to the body. And the problem and I've spoke of this before, is, see if I can zoom this thing in and hold a light and operate this. These little speed clips, I call them, they break. So they just spin and spin and spin and spin. So there's a couple of ways. I'm laying on my back, so bear with me. There's a couple of ways that you can get those apart. The easiest is they just come apart, but that normally doesn't happen, especially on an L body. The other way is, if you can get, I use one of these metal trim clip tools. If you can get that wedged in behind the washer, a lot of times you can give it some pry and it'll give it enough leverage to lock it in place and it'll come out. That doesn't always work. Sometimes you just got to go in there and fight the damn thing. Another way is, if you can get into it, is you can cut it. A lot of times on these little cars, there's just not enough room. You can see up inside there's just not a lot of room to get a cutting wheel. That one's probably not too bad. And this one here, I think I've done that before. You get in there and you cut the bolt in half, and then that comes off. I'm up in the air on this fender because it's got a small hole right here. That's easily fixable. Honestly, it's not bad. I've definitely seen worse. But then it's also got a small hole right here on the very back edge of the opening in front of the tire. I think that's fixable too, but the problem I get is I have 4 or 5 of these fenders laying out here already. So do I really, really need another one? The issue I have is, once it's gone, I'm about to drop my camera. Once it's gone, it's gone. So I don't know. I might, since I've got it this far, I'll probably go ahead and fight it and get it the rest of the way off. And then we'll see if we can get a buyer for it. So a few weeks ago, on one of the Facebook groups, I don't remember which one, somebody was asking about how to remove the CV axle on their car, and I linked the video I did on that a few weeks back on how to do it. And somebody said you can remove the tie rod end from the knuckle, and that'll give you enough clearance to get the CV shaft out of the hub. I tried that. I got the tie rod end out. I got the upper bolts out, and I left the ball joint one alone. I couldn't get it to come out. Part of the problem I think I might have been having, and I'm going to try to get on the other side, is the axle was actually coming out of the transmission before it was finishing coming out of the hub. That may have been the issue. I couldn't get it to snap back in. I leaked, I assume it's oil all over the floor. See, that smells like gear oil. Anyways, leaked it all over the floor. So that's, which is fine. It's not the first time. So anyways, I'm going to get this wheel back on because this side is done and ready to go. And then work on the passenger side. I don't know if I'm going to get to that tonight. I'm about to call it a night. So, saving these cars. Yeah, this one is just way far gone. I already showed you the frame rail. This is the inner fender. That's carpet padding I'm pushing on. But there's just nothing left. Even way up in here. At this seam, I can go all the way through. I thought I saw more, but anyway, yeah, so, you know, it's unfortunate, but this is what happens to cars here in Ohio that are driven year-round. I don't blame anybody. It's what these cars are built for when they're new, but it just happens. So, anywho, so I've had actually an interesting last few weeks or so. I do TikTok videos, but I don't really do much with them. And I've been starting to like show where parts are going, different states and Canada. But we actually had one go to Australia the other day. We just shipped one tonight going to Norway. We just shipped one the other night, went to Belgium. And I think that's pretty awesome that, you know, this little town that we live in, because we deal in these parts, we're finding these buyers from, you know, literally halfway around the world. And I think that is so awesome. So if you're interested in seeing where these parts are going, follow our TikTok page. It's the same name as this. I'll try to put a link in the description of this. And, you know, just to see where parts are going, because if you're a follower of this channel for a while, you know, we sell a lot of parts. Like, we're shipping parts almost every single day of the week. And it's kind of curious, you know, it's interesting to see where some of these parts end up or where they're heading. So, update on the 88 Horizon. So I did finally get some time last night, and I got the rear brakes done, the rear brake hoses. The passenger side was fighting me. I was almost ready to say screw it and not replace it, but I got it done. So this car's got all brand new brake lines and brake hoses, front and rear. Next, I got to bleed them. I need my wife's help to do that, but we'll get to that someday. I got the wiper linkage removed. For some reason, it was missing the driver's side linkage. I don't know why. It wasn't even under there. So I've got it all apart. Now I got to do the typical, put new plastic bushings in it and get it back together. So the other night, I don't know what day it was. I lose track of days. I was out here, and sometimes, have you ever just like been in your garage and just been like, I am tired of moving things, stepping over things, kicking things, whatever. So you just start getting rid of stuff. So I had one of those days the other day. And then I was looking at this thing. I had like this sign come out of a closed dealership that we bought out of. And it was just sitting here tucked in the corner collecting dust. So I was like, man, I really want to put that sign up. So I had some other signs here that I moved or got rid of. And then I had a shelf that had a bunch of cars on it, little cars. I took it down. I'm going to redo that. But I want to get that sign hung up. That one was already there. So my plan is to finish this wall out with more signs similar to that. But the cool one that I really, really like, and I think is the most awesome, is that one. I think I've showed these before, but this one is dirty and kind of actually gross. But it's got the 89 LeBaron convertible GTC. And I thought that is pretty awesome. So it was too tall lengthwise, this, you know, up and down to fit over here. So I had to hang it up in that corner. But it's up and it looks cool as hell. Oh, another one My wife cleaned this for me. It was pretty gross, but we got this sign hung up too, and that's got the Pentastar on it. I don't know what that would have been for originally, but it's hanging up. And then the 5-star sign, I got to get a bulb and some chain, and it's going to get hung up probably beside this one or somewhere else. So anyways, that's the quick update. Like I said, it's Wednesday night. I don't know what we're doing, the next 2 nights. My wife's currently out with her son doing some errands and whatnot. So I don't know when she's going to be home. But tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, I don't know what we're doing. Saturday, again, I don't know what I'm doing. If we're not going anywhere, I'll be back out here all 3 days. I really want to get this little black car done because I want to get my LeBaron out and get it ready to drive. I got to put a clutch in it, and I'm not looking forward to it, but it is what it is. It's got to be done. So, I don't know. We're trying to work a deal on 3 more parts cars and probably a truckload or 2. I think I mentioned this in the last video. A truckload or 2 of parts. And then we're also working a deal on 4 more parts cars. But we're probably just going to go down to where they're at and tear them apart there. It's just not worth the 4 trips. It's 2.5 hours one way. So it's just not worth the 5 hours on the road 4 times, or 20 hours on the road just driving to get these cars. I don't see the value in them, miles, wear and tear on the truck. Gas, of course, gas is like $4 a gallon right now. So I'll update on that as we go along. And then I still got the final car to go get from this haul where this Shelby Charger and this 83 Charger came from. I got to get that accomplished too. So I'm going to be busy. We have a swap meet coming up here in a couple of weeks. I got to make that phone call. So my buddy and I that you've seen in the videos, his dad and my dad both are Mopar gearheads. And the plan is we're going to have a secret meeting. So my dad's going to come here and I'm going to go, he's going to go with me to this swap meet. And then he's going to get his dad and meet us at the swap meet. And then we're just going to let them 2 older guys, both are in their 70s, and let them talk about, what they want to talk about. I think it's going to be a fun day. We don't care if we don't sell a thing. The day is going to be listening to these 2 and some of their stories. So anyways, I'm going to get off of here and figure out what I'm doing. We'll see you in the next one. All right, it's Saturday morning. It's been a few days since I've done anything. Long story short, I was up super late Thursday night, so I got very little sleep. So after work yesterday on Friday, I came out here and I did some yard work. And then I tinkered around the garage for a little bit, and I was just tired. So I went in the house, got cleaned up, and just called it a night. Early, it was like 5 o'clock. But anyways, I'm out here this morning. Got a gentleman supposed to be here any second now to get some parts. And then we got some parts loaded up to take to my parents where they live. I've got a gentleman coming from Fort Wayne, I believe, to gather those. I'm watching the door, watching for cars. So anyways, I was finally able to do something I haven't been able to do in a very long time. And that is walk from one side of the garage to the other, which I've always been able to do. Sometimes it's been a little tight right in here with the tire changer and whatnot. But I can actually walk all the way around this little horizon. Now I got to watch here the handle for the jack, but that's not a big deal. But I can walk all the way around through here. I'm amazed. I haven't been able to do that in a very long time. I've been spending this last week. I worked on the little 83 Charger a little bit. But just trying to clean up this place and organize it and redo some things. I showed you that already, so I won't go over that again. But just trying to make it so I don't trip over things, and I'm trying to step over things. I've been throwing a lot of stuff away. I hauled in a load last week in the bed of that little Dakota, and a lot of stuff left. And then my buddy who lives local, he's had a dumpster and he had some spare room. So I threw some stuff in there. So anyways, little quick, what's coming up in the future. So we have, I've talked about it before. We got to go about 2.5 hours. We're going a week from today. There's 4 cars, 2 Plymouth Reliance, I believe, a 4-door LeBaron, and a Spirit. And we're going down to evaluate the situation. The way I understand is they're difficult to get to. So I'm going to take my wife, and she's going to hang out in the car while me and the guy go tromping through the woods and who knows what else, to see what we're getting into, and then make a plan to go back down. I think I'm going to try to, and I may have already said this, so if I did, I apologize. I think I'm going to try to, excuse me, get up in the morning on whatever day we decide, get up early in the morning, because it's like 2.5 hours. Drive down, spend the day tearing apart 3 of the cars, and then bringing a 4th one home. There's a couple of reasons. One, that's less time there trying to strip cars down. Second of all, that gives me a little bit of storage room to shove parts into if need be. I'm going to try to gather as much as I can. If you follow us on the Shelby Dodge Club page, we have posted pictures of these cars, and we've already got some requests for parts. So with that said, that's coming up here in the near future, and I'm going to try to do a video of that while we're there. So then another one, I just got off the phone with a gentleman last night. He's about an hour and a half away, and he has probably 30 years worth of Rampage parts, L-body parts. So I think a week from tomorrow, the plan is to get up in the morning, run up there. He's got one it's pretty well been stripped out, but it's a Rampage nonetheless. And there's still some parts on it that we can use. So my thinking is, if we're going that way, we might as well take the trailer, because it doesn't really cost a whole lot more to drag it along. So we're going to load that onto the trailer. The downfall with that car is there's no suspension underneath it. So he has a lift that we'll be able to lift it up in the air off of his trailer and then set it down on our trailer. But then he's also got, like I said, 30 years, maybe longer, 40 years maybe, I don't know how long, of parts stashed away. I don't know. He sent me some pictures, but he said that's just the tip of the iceberg. So we're going to go up there, and we're going to go through that and try to make a deal. He's got 5 total cars, and I'd love to have 4 of the 5. 3 are parts cars. The 4th one I would love to have. The 5th one, I'm not too excited about. But I just, what he wants for them isn't a bad price for what it is, but it's just out of our budget right now. And I don't need another project car. The one that I really want is a project, but it's been turbo converted, 5-lug converted. It's got all that stuff done to it, but it was done a long time ago, and it needs some work on the engine. So anyways, and then the body, he said, has got, typical rot in places. So anyways, I don't know if I'll be able to video while I'm up there. Probably not. I don't really like asking people to video at their place. So we'll go over what we get once I get home. Plan on that one is, like I said, is to bring this little Rampage back on the trailer. We can fill it and the bed up with parts if need be, and then we'll have the truck obviously full, hopefully. And then it's just going to be unloading everything. So with that said, I'm going to keep tinkering around here until my parts guy shows up, and then I don't know what we'll get to the rest of the day. Probably not much. I think my wife wants to go do something. So, all right, let's go have some fun. All right, it's Tuesday night, and it was supposed to be cold today, but it actually turned out to be super nice, and I'm probably filthy dirty. Been out here working on this 83 for the last, I don't know, however long it is. I don't even know what time it is. So, what did we get done tonight? I'll show you here real quick. So, we got the shifter out. That was quite a task, because like I'd said earlier in the video, or another video, that was ran through the floor, and then this was on top, and then you had to go up underneath and get to this bolt. Quite the task. But fortunately, this car doesn't have any floors, so it was fairly easy. I ended up having to cut some more of the floor out. You can see the hole right in here. We're on the blue. So the blue was the silicone that was used to put the boot on for the shifter, where an L body would have originally been. So I was able to cut that out and be able to get a wrench up in there and get it apart. Got the hood release cable is completely out. Got the radiator out. Unfortunately, the radiator started leaking as I started messing with it. So it is junk. L body radiators, from my understanding, is you cannot have those record. So I'm trying to keep this thing so we can keep it, so we can try to get it running. So I haven't really been removing any electrical components. I got the 2 lower intercooler hose and the airbox hose off the turbo. They're off. And then the shifter cables are unhooked from the transmission. The one clip was a bare. I ended up removing the master cylinder just to give me a little bit more room. So that is now in the back of the car. Like I said, it's going to go to the junk pile as well. Removed the battery tray because I thought, you know, we've sold those before and it was broke naturally. Didn't see it out after I got it apart. But it is what it is. So I got the shifter cable clips. I pulled those and put them in a baggie so I knew what they was. And then I was just removing the driver's door exterior handle and the latch assembly. So I removed those. Oh, and I also got the lock cylinder because I believe that this key in the ignition fits the hatch in both doors and the ignition. So if that's the case, once we're done, I'll remove the ignition switch out of that column and we'll list all four, 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 pieces together as one with a matching key. So with these older cars, you know, sometimes having the keys, they don't match everything. I'm going to show you something that I thought was right. So it's kind of dark here. Recently, I was looking on a post. Somebody was looking for the clips that hold the cables to the transmission. They're 2 U-shaped metal clips. And somebody made the comment that you can use the lock cylinder clips. So when I pulled the lock cylinder out, I was like, man, it does look kind of similar. However, this one here on the right is the lock cylinder. This one here is the shifter cable. And you can see this one here is not as wide at the base, nor does it have these 2 big fingers that stick up. And then it's also not as wide. So, with that said, there you go, that shows it better. That will not work. So I'm going to keep these separated so I know which is which. So, lock cylinders, my dad taught me this trick many years ago. So if you look at this, it's got this silver cap, stainless steel cap, okay? If you pop this cap off, that's what's holding your tumblers and your springs in place. Worst case scenario, if you got a lock cylinder that does not have a key and you don't want to buy one from us, then you can take this apart, pop this silver stainless cap off, turn it upside down, knock all the tumblers out, then your key will fit. So basically, what'll happen is that any key will fit that. So, can that be an issue? I mean, I don't foresee too many people stealing these cars, and I don't foresee too many people carrying around keys to these cars. So, my understanding was it needs to be a Chrysler key. That's what my dad always told me. So, a little bit of tidbit of information if you're into that situation. That's probably a worst case scenario. So, but it is doable. I've done it on other cars, and it works fine. Another thing, L-body door handles. We know that these are known to break. They break here at the eyes, or they'll break down here somewhere, most likely right in here, because this is the part that takes the most pressure. So, we have a bunch of OE Chrysler door handles. I pull them off of every single car. They do make a cheap knockoff, and from my understanding, they're not as good of quality. Never used ones, I don't know for sure. But this is an OE Chrysler used part. So, which door does this come off of? Well, we already know it comes off the driver's door because I said that. However, door handles are universal. It's a pretty cool little thing they did. You can utilize either one of these two eyes for left or right. As you can see, this is the left-hand side, so that's where the rod goes to. But you can move that over to here and make it a right-hand side door handle. It also is universal front to rear on a 4-door. So, just a little bit of information on that. I am probably about done for the evening. I'm to the point that I can't really pull anything else until we can get this thing running. I got some other things I can pull. Oh, another thing. I also got the 4-window glass out. I hate keeping glass because glass is a hard item to sell because shipping it can be a nightmare, especially these long triangular pieces on the rear. However, my heart tells me that they're not going to make these ever again. So let's put it up on the shelf. Eventually, somebody will find a home for it, and hopefully, we can get it to them safely and securely. Another item I got out of the car. I got the headliner board out. These are known to be broke and destroyed. This one's actually in pretty nice shape. So that gives us 2 of those now. So if you need a headliner board for a non-sunroof 2-door, we've got you covered. The only problem is shipping is not possible. They are extremely fragile to begin with. And I've seen many deliveries of items coming from the main shipping companies, and they are not good. There is a possibility that you could do like U-Ship or something like that and have a carrier come here and pick it up. But that would be totally on you. And we will not be responsible for, how they handle these things. Anyways, t-shirts. We got t-shirts. We got some cool t-shirts. I made the logo, and they will be available. I will post a few pictures at the end of this video, and they are $20 a piece. We're not making any money on them. Maybe $2 or $3 a piece. To me, it's not about making money on those. It's about getting the business out there more. We've already sold quite a few, and we have to probably be ordering more here soon if we keep selling them, which is awesome. So $20 a piece. We can ship them to you for $6, and then if it costs more than $6 to ship it, I'll just eat that. So like I said, it's not about making money on these, but help us and help get our business out there, and let's work together and keep these little cars on the road. We still have, I've talked about it before, the parts hauls. That's coming up here Sunday. We're going to leave here Sunday morning and head up and get one car and who knows how many parts, and then kind of go from there. So, all right, like, follow, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. If you want to see a how-to on this car, hurry up because it's about done, or it's getting close to being done. And then we'll have some more stuff coming in soon. So we're always able to do a how-to video. Sunday, 2 days ago, we went to my parents' house, and I got to meet a awesome young man with a cool little 85 Chrysler Laser. He bought some parts off of us. And then the day before, so Saturday, we had somebody come from Columbus, Ohio. He's got a Shelby Charger. He's trying to get back together. So we're getting there. We're getting more and more stuff out of here and getting more parts shipped around the world. Like I said before, Australia, Belgium, Norway. That's pretty awesome. So let's keep it going. We'll catch you on the next one.